So here's something that caught my attention. So we haven't been to the moon in like 50 years, and so NASA needs to change that. We need to make sure there's no funny business going on up there. And so they're trying to send people back up there, except for this time, instead of NASA doing the sending, they're contracting it out through private corporations. And so there was just a contract that was awarded to SpaceX for the eventual sending of people back to the moon. And it was awarded to SpaceX because they had the lowest bid and also the best technology to send people there. So they won the bid. But there was a problem, and that problem was that the richest man in the world also makes spaceships during his free time when he's not busting unions. And he wasn't awarded the $10 billion contract. And he's only worth $200 billion. He's not worth $210 billion. And so there was an impasse that they had to get through. And the reason that he wasn't awarded that was because his spaceships cost about twice as much as the SpaceX spaceships, and they also haven't been going to space as much. And so he didn't win the contract. And so as a free marketeer who loves, the competition in the marketplace, because of the fact that he wasn't able to win over the one other company that was in his area, what he did is he went to the government and he went to his state senator, Maria Cantwell, who used to be my state senator and is well known as not being a well-known senator, is kind of just like the standard Democratic senator, and is a good illustration, as this is a good example as to why people are disillusioned by their politicians and disillusioned with the political system, is because things like this happen all the time. And so what happened is Jeff Bezos went to Maria Cantwell and said, hey, I was planning on getting another few $1 billion from the government, and is there anything that you can do to help me out? And so what she did is she inserted another $10 billion into a Senate bill that would go to Jeff Bezos's Blue Origins, just in case like the SpaceX one wasn't able to go through. So we can spend another $10 billion of public monies going towards the richest man's in the world's hobby horse, because he's not as good at it as the second richest man in the world. And so I think that this is a good example as to why people are disillusioned with the political system and the political process, and specifically the Democratic Party, is that, this one got a little bit of attention because it was the richest man in the world and people know who it is, and Elon Musk and SpaceX and going to the moon. It got a little bit of attention, but really not very much. But things like billionaires going towards their local state senators and getting small amendments in obscure bills, which allocate $10 billion in this case, which is a sizable sum. For reference for that, the amount of money spent on elections by the Democratic National Committee, the entire Democratic National Committee in 2020, which was the biggest year of expenditures ever, was still only $500 million. So 20 times that much is being given to one billionaire who is coincidentally worth 20 times as much as the 10 billion before, so 400 times as much as the Democratic Party spent in the last election. That just happens, and like it gets a little bit of press, but when it's the 47th richest person in the world or the 84th richest person in the world, and it's on page 712 of this thing that there's this tax loophole and that happens all the time.